35. She didn't recognize him until he smiled. He was only 17, yet his wisdom went far beyond his years. A young man was sitting on a bench in a park feeding the birds when an elegant lady approached him. She was in her early 20s, beautifully dressed and carried an expensive handbag. "Excuse me," she said, "could you please tell me what time it is? My phone is in the car." The young man looked up at her, smiled politely and said, "Ma'am, if you look at the time on my watch, it's 1:15 p.m. The woman was stunned. She had expected him to fumble with his cheap, poorly maintained watch, but instead he had presented her with the time on a silver platter. His confidence and composure were admirable. "Thank you," she said, suddenly realizing that she didn't know what she was doing there. I think I'm lost. Could you please direct me to the nearest police station?" The young man gestured towards the main road. "It's about a 10-minute walk from here, ma'am." "Oh, thank you," she said, taking a step back. And that's when she noticed the tattoos on his arms, the faded ink telling stories of a life she wasn't aware of. She suddenly felt a sense of familiarity, but couldn't quite place it. As she turned to leave, the young man called out to her, "Excuse me, miss, but do you remember me?" She stopped and turned around, her eyes searching his face. She had never seen him before in her life. He smiled, a dimple appearing on his left cheek. And that's when it hit her. She had seen that smile before, but not on this young man. It was on a soldier in a photograph pinned to her refrigerator. It was a picture from her brother's wedding, a day she had been so caught up in her own world that she had even noticed him slipping away. She had barely acknowledged his presence, not because she disliked him, but because her attention was focused elsewhere. When she finally did look his way, it was too late. The handsome young man with the kind eyes and infectious smile had enlisted in the army. And now here he was, all grown up and more handsome than ever. Her heart swelled with pride and a hint of sadness. "Thomas," she whispered, her voice thick with emotion. "Is that really you?" He nodded, his smile widening. "It's good to see you again, miss." For a moment, neither of them spoke. The woman, lost in the depths of her thoughts, realized how little she had cherished the moments she had with her brother. Now, faced with the consequences of her actions, she vowed to make it right. She reached out to him, her hand trembling slightly. Can I ask you something, Thomas?" "Of course, miss." She hesitated for a moment before asking, "Would you go for a cup of coffee with me?" A surprised smile spread across his face. "I'd like that very much, miss." And as they walked away from the park together, the setting sun casting long shadows behind them, she knew that this was just the beginning of their story.